has officially came. We got a new exhaust for the S650 Mustang to add to the long tube headers I just installed. If you haven't watched that video, check it out up here. The link will be up in one of the corners. And I'm super excited. This exhaust is gonna be crazy. It literally just came out of the truck like 5 minutes ago. I'm excited to show you guys. Let's check it out. If you can't tell by the box, we got an AWE exhaust for the S650 Mustang. This exhaust, I'm gonna go in depth and tell you guys about it. I kind of already peeked it out, but I didn't open it up fully because I didn't want to make a mess with all the wrapping. Let's check it out. I mean, so far, this is all I've opened it up to. Got the Xpipe right there, which I'm super excited to talk about that. And I haven't even gotten to the bottom and the tips and all that stuff. We got the mufflers. We also got new actuators for the active exhaust. This is the AWE switchpath exhaust, so we get to retain our active exhaust modes, and it's a really nice touch that it comes with an actuator so you don't have to reuse your old ones, which is awesome. Not a lot of companies do that. Usually have to switch them over to the new exhaust, but AWE includes it, which is actually super cool. I'm glad they did that. Great packaging as well. This thing is heavily wrapped in paper and pool noodles so we don't damage those exhaust hangers and everything. So far the welds look really good. This thing looks awesome. Let's get it unboxed. I'm going to get it laid out for you guys. I know there's a lot of other exhaust companies out there like Cquartz and Borla, and you're probably asking, well, why did you go with AWE? Well, this is why I went with AWE right here. I went with the AWE switchpath exhaust because it comes with this H-pipe and then it goes into some resonators. As you guys know, the Coyote engine is super raspy, especially with long tube headers like I do have on the car, which I recently installed, like I said previously. So this is going to eliminate a lot of the rasp. So like I said, if you have the H-pipe, goes into 2 resonators, and then you come over to the back and you have the mufflers with the active exhaust, obviously. I also want to mention that this exhaust system is a full 3-inch setup all the way back. It also comes with these adapters right here, so from the stock exhaust to the new AWE exhaust. It is 304 stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about rust. I'm super excited to see how this thing sounds, especially with the long tube headers. Enough talking, we're gonna throw this thing on the car. Car's already up in the air because it's a Ford, it's always in the air anyway. No more exhaust on that 650, we're straight off the headers. We're gonna throw the AWE exhaust on. Pretty simple process of removing that stock exhaust. And here is the stock active exhaust. Like I said, we don't have to reuse those at all. AWE provides new actuators, which is so clutch. And then I got my Ford Performance Xpipe, which we're replacing with an H-pipe, and then the resonators on the new exhaust, and then the active exhaust mufflers. Super excited, let's throw it on. All right, we're finally done with the exhaust, the AWE exhaust. The fitment looks pretty good. Here's the massive exhaust tips. Like I said, fitment's pretty good. It's a little tight. Probably could use a little adjustment, but looks pretty good. I'm gonna make sure the valves work and put it in accessory mode, make sure the valves are all good. Then we're gonna get a first start. There's the full active exhaust, AWE switchpath, the resonators with the H-pipe, full 3-inch all the way back from the block of the motor. And let's get a fresh start. Valves do work, so when you do closed mode, the quiet mode, it closes it all the way, but then when you do normal mode, it just opens it all the way up in track mode. So it's in normal mode right now. Go take a look. As you can see, it's all the way open in track mode. Let's go to sport mode. Really quick, I'll put it in sport. I didn't hear any valves move. Come over here and it's still in the same position, so I guess you only have 2 valve modes, is quiet and track, which is what it is, I guess. So I just pressed it in quiet. I just put it in quiet mode, it's closed. So you only have 2 options. Track and quiet. Sport and normal mode are not a thing, I guess, unless you switch over the actuators. All right, first startup. Is the idle, after it died down a little bit, is a lot deeper. It's a really good tone. Just put it in quiet mode. Let's check it out. And there's quiet mode. It's a little bit quieter, but it's still pretty loud. I'm gonna get some revs here. There's track mode now. Valves are open. Completely different sound. It sounds so much better than the Xpipe. I thought the Xpipe sounded pretty good, but now until I hear this sounds so much better, way more deeper of a tone. That's what the H-pipe and then the resonators do. The thing sounds phenomenal, way better than the Xpipe, because the Xpipe is just raspy. There's like no like genuine tone to it. Now with the H-pipe with the resonators, there's a great tone, super deep. And I bet when you get on it, it still gets kind of raspy. And we're gonna have to find that out. Guys, it's been a few days since I installed the AWE switchpath exhaust on my S650 Mustang behind me, and I just wanted to kind of see how it was and drive it around and before I gave my final thoughts. And now I'm here to give my final thoughts on it. And man, I really do love this exhaust, because before I had the Ford Performance Xpipe and then the factory active exhaust mufflers. That thing was unbearably raspy. Ever since I put this AWE exhaust on, it just blows that Xpipe stock muffler out of the water. This sounds so much better. There's almost no rasp, and once you get long tube headers, you know there's a ton of rasp, and it's kind of really hard to get rid of that. I'm gonna throw in some sound clips for you guys. There's really no rasp until you get up to like 6,000 RPM. You're not really gonna get to 6,000 RPM cruising around in traffic unless you're on it and playing around in Mexico or going for a spirited drive or anything like that. So honestly, cruising around town or giving a little pull here and there, there is really no rasp. It really has that muscle car tone, and AWE really went out of the park with this one. I think it sounds phenomenal paired with these long tube headers, because I was honestly on the fence about the long tube headers. I'm like, I don't want it to ruin the sound, you know, and I ended up just pulling the trigger on it. I didn't really like how it sounded with the Xpipe, to be honest. I'm so glad I went with the long tube headers, and I'm so glad I went with the AWE exhaust, because the Borla and Corsa, even though Borla is supposed to be a little bit of a deeper exhaust than Corsa, there is still a ton of rasp. My buddy has Borla attacks with long tube headers like me. Well, I don't have Borla, but he has that set up, and it's super raspy still. And then if you go Corsa, it's even more raspier than that. But the AWE threw it out of the park with this one. It is phenomenal. I love it so far. So I'm gonna give you guys some rev clips, and let me know what you guys think and your final thoughts. There was quiet mode and then track mode. Obviously it's always in track mode. There's two options. So you got quiet mode, and then you got track mode all the way open, and you got rid of the normal and sport mode. Here is the idle of long tube headers with the AWE. Sounds really good at idle as well. Almost like a Chevy that it's chopping. Not really. Really like this exhaust. Tell me what you guys think down below. If you have a Mustang with long tube headers or a different catback exhaust, what do you have and what's your personal preference? Thanks for watching. Drive safe.